I'm Richard Lewis, reporting for Carred.org. I'm here with someone that we all know, George Hudds G. Hoskins from mTw, the Brit Abroad. I've got to ask you a question first off. Last time we were out and about, it was in Sweden, it was 30p. You hadn't had a great time, it was a little bit disappointing. Can you sort of talk about that and sum it up for us?
Well, first I'd like to mention that whether we went with Paddy or Dan, I think it would have been the same result. We just weren't playing well, and we didn't have the manager there, and I think for me that's a big thing. The way I am, everyone knows the way I am. I can be a bit of an arse and like that, a bit grumpy. And then things just didn't click. We lost to Zaya because of some bad choices. People weren't comfortable, and yeah, just a bad LAN. Everyone has one, and just move on from it, really.
Well, what have you done differently? I mean, obviously you brought Paddy back into the team, but is there anything else you've been doing sort of collectively as a unit to improve? How are you going to perform here?
We've been working a lot on our mental attitude towards the game, and the way we go into games now. We've got a routine, and just been going over the map solidly, trying not to play too many teams that are attending this event, which worked out for Seacrass obviously, and yeah, just adjusting how we think about the game.
That said, you've been boot camping with the Brazilians, I understand. You've been playing a lot of practice matches with them. How's that been going? Can you give us any insight into maybe how they're going to do at this tournament?
I mean, they're obviously great aimers from 1.6 and they're great players. The thing they lack on some maps is obviously source knowledge and game knowledge, and not just flashes or smokes, just the way other teams play the game and the maps. How well they do, I don't know. I think they'll do quite well just because of all the LAN experience they've had with 1.6 and just their attitude, because they'll go into these games saying believing that it's source, and obviously they're of a high caliber and they believe they're going to be better, and that alone just is a gift. So I think they'll do well.
What about yourselves? Are you under any pressure here? I mean, you have to win an event soon, don't you? I mean, a team of your stature playing in the league you're playing.
There's no pressure on my part. I think some of the guys maybe, but maybe not. So I think it's just more about we never really judge ourselves on well, we obviously judge ourselves on LAN performances. What I'm trying to say is we never go into an event saying, well, we must be first, we must be this. Obviously, we want to come top 3, top 2 would be much better. And like I say to the guys every LAN, is if we're in the final, anything can happen, whether it's against Very Games or whoever. Anything happens on a final PCs, final atmosphere, just mental attitude of players. Apart from that, no, there's no pressure. Obviously, we're still in EPS, so we're doing well. We won that last season. I mean, as far as LANs, we played DS Rack and we came 3rd after coming back against the Canadians. And bear in mind, the Canadians did take a map off Very Games. So I mean, as far as LAN, no one can really say we're online. As 30p was just a bad LAN that, if you look through the history of any top great team, every top great team has a bad LAN. Look at SK maybe in 2003. I think ESWC, that was the event that they failed to win, and I mean it didn't make them any less great. So.
Okay, well, I've got to ask as well about Very Games, which you mentioned briefly. I know you've probably had a chance to play against them. Maybe you can shed some light on what shape they're coming in to this event, because they did just lose in the final of Max LAN, and a lot of people are wondering whether their time's over. What do you think?
I think that reign is definitely over, but that's not because they've got any worse. It's just everyone's caught up because they've been playing and practicing a lot versus the teams. I think they might be nervous if they do come against 3D Max. Obviously, they haven't been touched for a year almost, and now obviously they think, oh, we actually are beatable. But then again, does that make them stronger because they're going to cover up their mistakes? So I mean, they're just going to be as strong as ever, but beatable definitely.
And I've got to get your thoughts on Reason Gaming as well. I know you've got strong ties with that organisation, lots of friends in the team. They have to do well at this event as well, or the word on the street is they're going to be out of the organisation. I mean, I don't know if you've heard those rumours. I suspect you have, like me. What do you make of it all? Do you think they're going to crumble under the pressure, or do you think they're going to step it up?
Well, obviously I've known Henrik for a very long time, and I think he's not one to crumble. He's a great leader, probably the best the game has right now, apart from Existence. Yeah, I think, again, 30p was one of those LANs where they just nothing went right for them and everything went against them. They lost to Rage, but to be honest, they lost it when they lost to Epsilon in that format, and like when we lost to Zaya, we managed to come through lower bracket, but it's a hard fight and it's best of one. I think they're a great team. I think they've just had a rocky road like us, and I think they're a team to watch out for, definitely.
And what about anyone that you think could be a surprise element here? We mentioned the Brazilians. Team Russia are here. Is there anyone that stands out for you?
I haven't really seen much of the other teams. The only thing I will say is like the young Danes, the young Danish side, like Zaya Speed Gaming, they seem to play really good versus international teams, and I think the reason they don't do well against like Reason and stuff is because it's like when we play German teams, there's that added pressure because you're the best or whatever. So yeah, there's no one really that stands out, but just the young Danes and stuff like that.
And final thoughts. Ultimately, we've talked about an mTw win. If it doesn't happen, is there a bottom line that you're happy with going away? I mean, it's got to be top 3 is the minimum requirement, I would say, as an outsider. Do you share that view?
Top 2. We have to be in the final, in my mind, if not winning. I mean, I've come to so many events now, and it's not like I'm a LAN failure or anything. I've just, I guess, bad luck, or I don't know. But yeah, definitely top 2 would be a good thing for us, and it would be a mental boost. And then if we don't do well this LAN, I don't know, we'll just have to go back home and reevaluate things and play EPS, and then, I don't know, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Best of luck in the tournament. Hope to talk to you a bit later. And of course, to all the people out there at cadred.org, do stay tuned to the website. We'll be bringing you the very best coverage from Copenhagen Games 2011.